Here we go. Wait, am I allowed to do that?
Is Nintendo going to copyright strike us?
Oh, we're in trouble. What's up, gamers? LFQ, still the hardest gamer in chat, easily.
An easy 118 seconds this morning or afternoon.
Undefeated.
24 wins.
Yeah, 24. Crazy. I was gonna say. I was like, what are his wins? 24 is crazy. Isn't number 2 like 10?
9.
9.
Yep.
What's up, Travis Bragg? How you doing? Nintendo about to blast through the wall with Kool-Aid. Bro, there's a Mario over here on my fucking shit. So I don't know. Hopefully they don't come for me too hard.
I got a couple of Marios up here.
Yeah, dude.
There we go. Your leaderboard.
Yeah, still. Oh, dude, why? Oh, you were. I was like, why is it like doing a fucking resize?
There we go.
All right, so Omni's got 9.
69 wins too. There you go.
Perfect. LFQ with 24. That's so crazy. Get that off the screen. Oh yeah, that's right. It doesn't celebrating LFQ's greatness offends his Scandinavian culture, because he can't be too awesome. LFQ, I'm sorry, bro. You are super awesome, and we're gonna celebrate your awesomeness. Travis, we are celebrating LFQ today. They're about to hit me with another slander suit for that Mario pronunciation. Dude, I love calling it Mario. It's the funniest shit ever to me. So realistically, Tony's going to be doing some Dread stuff. He's been working on a playground setup for one of the neighborhood weenies. Yes, it is City Park. So we use a lot of pre-existing assets, like off the asset store, off of Fab, stuff like that, because we don't have an art champion. Turning Cog is kind of the closest. He's been helping us a lot with many art things. Adder is always great to ask questions about, tech art stuff. But it's basically me and Tony trying to do all of the art for the game. And we are not either of us, digital artists working in games. I'm a game designer. Tony's a software developer. So different disciplines entirely. We're doing what we can with what we've got, and so far I think the game looks pretty fucking good despite that lack of skill at making 3D art. Totally. So did you see the video I posted on Discord? Yeah, actually that would be kind of cool to check out, Tony. I was thinking about that for stream today. I don't know if you saw that. It's in community general fun. LFQ watched a video on Path of Exile, and shaders and device removed issues, I guess, were bugs. So they had like a shader bug. It might be interesting to check out, but we don't have to. Yeah, we don't have to go right now.
I'll check it out maybe off stream, and then we can talk about it next time.
Okay, yeah, that sounds cool. So let's see, what else did I have in here? Let's looking at some of these things. Yeah, Nintendo is definitely gonna blast through the wall, dude. I mean, that'd be kind of cool if like John Nintendo came to the house and was like, you stop it. I mean, I don't know if I've told you guys this. My wedding ring actually has, I don't know if you can see it. You can kind of see it. Anyway, there's like symbols all the way around it. It's written in, it has like an inlay, a copper inlay. That's, it's an alloy. But the inlay says it's dangerous to go alone. Take this in the ancient Hylian script from Wind Waker. So yeah, Nintendo is probably very mad at me for unlicensed use of all their stuff. The talk seemed interesting, but the talk itself made me fall asleep. Okay, that's good news. Travis says I use the trees from this pack. Yeah, they're good trees, dude. Our trees in the neighborhood are City Park, right?
They are, yes. Yeah. And the woods as well. They're good trees.
Yeah, those are really good trees. So we use them too. Didn't we try those trees in Hyperskate and they weren't cutting the mustard, and we went with different trees that were stylized?
I don't think we've tried them in Hyperskate yet, but we need like, a million trees in Hyperskate. I don't know if it's going to be feasible to use those specifically.
This is the neighborhood bright side. Mostly we've shown you guys neighborhood. We're trying to keep the other things a little close, but Yeah, we've shown neighborhood forest and lake. There is another level that still needs a lot of work on it. Hold on, let me allow that. Bro, what? Why is it restarting every 30 to 180 seconds?
It's very specific.
Yeah, what did you download? And he said his app phone? Is that like, is it an iPhone? Ooh, yeah, good call, LFQ. Is it overheating? Bro, are you going too hard in the gym right now? Right side's just fucking doing some reps and his phone's overheating. You got water in it? Bro, no, don't say that. Yeah, oof indeed. How do we get a million trees at 120 FPS? Because we got to do that for Hyperskate.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we will. It'll be fine. So I don't. Speaking of Nintendo, have you guys tried out Splatoon Raiders at all? Apparently, it's going fucking hard. It's really popular. I'm not a Splatoon Raiders guy. I watched Donkey's video on it, and I was like, I'm not into Splatoon. It looks like, ironically enough, Tony, we were talking about horde mode. Splatoon Raiders is like a horde mode game.
Okay. Yeah.
So like you're fighting off waves of you know, ocean themed monsters. Adder says technology. Yeah, exactly, dude. Secret technology. Okay, so the solo Splatoon spinoff sold 474,000 physical copies in its first weekend in Japan. So it looks like, you know, the gamers yearn for physical editions, you know, with the threat of physical editions going away. And that, you know, obviously this is a hot button issue. Gamers care. They want physical editions of their games, even in Japan. Let's see. 2 other Nintendo games passed major physical milestones in Japan. Mario Kart World sold a total of 6,000 copies last week in Japan. Total sales, 3 million copies. That's crazy. So Mario Kart World has 3 million physical copies sold.
It could be like a Wii Sports thing where, since for a while it was shipped with every console, you know, they get a free one for every unit they sell.
Well, they were saying that these numbers do not include eShop at all. This is strictly physical editions.
I think you get a physical one with the Switch, but you have a Switch, I don't. So
no, you're right. You're right. Pre-installed software and bundled software are also included in the numbers here. Yeah, Mario Kart World came with the first wave of Switch 2 consoles. Yep, you're right on that. As well as this Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, which is a game that I do not understand whatsoever. Sold another 23,000 physical copies last week in Japan. Cumulative total of 1.5 million copies.
The girl who cuts my hair said it was like The Sims.
Yeah, it's like Nintendo Sims with Mii's or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like trading cards. You put the guise of exclusivity on a product at short-term sales. I totally agree with you, Adder. The reason why people are, you know, the platforms are like, we're not going to do physical editions anymore is because they were losing money on them. It wasn't worth it. And then gamers are like, no, we want the physical editions. And so there's going to be a boom right now, which is great for Mortal Shell. But yeah, I don't expect it's going to last. It's a small bubble that'll pop. Sony doesn't actually care about the physical editions. They're just riding the PR wave. So this is the other interesting thing. I'm talking about, you know, obviously this is an important issue that's moving articles and driving clicks and engagement and all that shit. So that's why VGC is reporting on it. But they also said there was another. Oh, here it is. Final Fantasy VII Revelation director says he's working on arranging some kind of physical edition, but can't confirm details. So Naoki Hamaguchi. Yeah, Hamaguchi says it would be a shame if physical releases stopped in the future. So now, like, even other people are hopping on board the whole thing of like, we love physical editions. Let's fucking do it for everything. And I don't know, like, are we going backwards? It does put us in a weird spot as gamers to be like, you know, we want to not feel ripped off by a studio. that sold us a game as a service and then shut it down in 3 months. We want to be able to play our favorite game, forever because we bought it. And then like, we don't want Sony to cancel physical editions and make it not even an option anymore. We're kind of in a weird spot with all that. Because I think you could make the argument that if like consumers demand physical editions, a future version of this is going to be like a weird drop ship version of it where like you get physical edition at a $15 markup. I could see that being a fucking thing. And then that will probably kill it. But I think the important piece here is that both Sony and Microsoft have had major platform issues in the last 2 weeks where people were unable to access their digital content whatsoever. So obviously they have to fix that, and they can't let that happen ever again because you're paying for a service and then there's, legal liability and all kinds of other stuff in there. That's where it becomes a problem. So yeah, we're in a weird spot. A lot of people don't realize that Sony handles almost all of the disc print manufacturing side. They have to maintain a hardware department to implement and service disk drives. Sony never made money on discs. It only existed as a necessity to sell consoles. Yep. Yeah. And I mean, what's the case with Nintendo? Do they make their own cartridges? I don't know how that works.
They would have to, I would think.
Lack of access to digital content is covered by the fact that all digital purchases are rentals and are not guaranteed access within a reasonable window of tolerance. That shit needs to change. If anything, I would say that's what SKG should fucking fight for, is like digitally distributed entertainment software can't be leased. It has to be like, you've purchased this, so now you retain a license in perpetuity or something like that, as long as the game is live, right? I mean, that just opens the door for other loopholes, but that's at least somewhat better. And then getting away from the licensing EULA is kind of good for everybody. Nintendo and Microsoft also handle their own distribution. Yeah. Microsoft ditched discs a while back because it got them closer to breaking even on hardware. Yeah. Okay, so we had an article about the Sandfall guys saying that they want physical editions. They need to keep those around. We've now got, Final Fantasy VII guy saying the same thing. We've got an article in VGC about Splatoon Raiders and physical editions of Nintendo games being sold. So this is very clearly a hot button issue here. Also, the thing that I noticed on the internet is that the Halo Campaign Evolved crash outs are only getting worse. It's getting crazy. People are saying that New Cortana is Germa, a streamer. Is he a streamer? Or is he a YouTuber? I don't really know Germa.
He's mainly a streamer.
Okay, so yeah, they're like, why did they change this? And it's, I mean, a valid question. They didn't necessarily need to change it, but at the same time, they updated all the graphics and they moved to Unreal, so they had to make a new Cortana character model. I get it. It's fine. But
here's the Germa video.
What's that?
I just put the Germa video up for you.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize I had the fucking Breaking Benjamin song behind it too. That's a good addition.
That's so funny. That's so funny. So this is why people are saying that, because this one guy made a meme, it went viral, everyone got very excited about it, and so now everyone's like just saying Cortana is Germa. Great for Germa's brand, because he's getting a lot of, I'm sure people like me are like, who the fuck is Germa? And then they're gonna go look at Germa. Now he's gonna get more.
If you remember me telling you about the guy who I watched like the 10 hours of videos about how he like narrowed down his favorite video game of all time.
Yes,
that was Germa. So.
Yeah. So that's like a whole thing. The Halo stuff is very weird and interesting. I don't know. It's like Halo is going the route of Star Wars, and in like the worst way, in a much worse way, I guess. Because like I'm sure some of you guys have been around when I was talking about the Halo show, and I've tried to give it a chance, and like some parts of it are fun, but it is like loosely related to Halo. It's not faithful in any way, and that's really irritating. I think in some ways we can kind of talk about Rings of Power in the same way, right? Loosely related to the source material. The crazy thing to me is I thought that show died, but it didn't. There's a season 3 coming out, and people are getting mad about season 3 because in the trailers for season 3, apparently Galadriel and crew have made friends with an orc, and there's an orc that is now a good guy, which is
Classic.
very much not remotely even close to Tolkien canon. Like that's a crazy creative liberty that they're taking with that. Because like Tolkien explicitly was like, these guys are pure evil. They murder and like, you know, eat flesh and stuff like that. They're monsters. Like they are the monsters that you fight against because if they win, you have nothing left, right? Like that's the whole point of the story. So I guess Amazon's trying to like humanize them a little bit, and I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on over there. I've also tried to give that show a chance, and I just fucking cannot, man. It feels very derivative of the source material in a negative way. Like you know when a child tries to draw a horse or a car and you're like, I see what you're going for, but you're like, that's not right. Horses and cars don't look like that. That's kind of what I think Rings of Power is for me. I thought the thing that was the most egregious was the representation of the proto hobbits, because I'm like, why are they all stupid? Like they're all complete idiots. That was my biggest issue, because the hobbits were supposed to be like the people of the British Isles, you know. I know I'm probably catching Adder with this one because I know Adder's a huge Lord of the Rings fan. They also interestingly kind of shadow dropped Halo Remaster as an anchor project for a platform that is barely hanging on as is. Yes, totally. Sauron also sits down with a chat with a Balrog. Dude, I don't know what the fuck is going on with that show, man. I've literally tried to watch it and have an open mind to be like, this is cool. I can enjoy this, and I just fucking cannot. What's up, Gil? How you doing? We're talking about Rings of Power.
I'm not a big enough nerd to know this, but could a Balrog take Sauron?
I don't know, actually. Maybe that version of
Balrogs
Sauron
are like fucking crazy. Super
yeah, they're like
right?
primal forces. They're like nature, but they're evil nature. You know, they're shadow and flame.
It just feels like, you know, like they might almost be on the same side, but I feel like it's just like two really powerful guys that would probably still fight.
So. Holy shit, Adder! Adder is fucking. I don't even want to say that name. Adder is political posting right now. On the advice of my counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent and decline to answer that question.
My Balrog question?
I think
is this like a Lord of the Rings nerd debate?
No, I think it was because I was like, I know Adder's a Lord of the Rings fan. I want to know how he feels about Rings of Power, and he's like, on the advice of my counsel, I'm not answering that question.
Got it. Yep.
So Gil, this one is specifically a show on Amazon Prime, and it's going into season 3. Yeah, dude. So like when I was working on Return to Moria, watching Rings of Power was like a really important thing for the team, and that was another reason why I was like, you know, I was giving it my all. I was reading the trilogy again just so that I was fresh on all those things. I was like fucking locked in on all the Lord of the Rings stuff, just making sure that I knew that I was making stuff that made sense, and I could not fucking get Rings of Power to stick, man. It just bothered me. Like I was saying, the representation of the proto hobbits was super weird. It was cool seeing the dwarf stuff, but it also was like wrong, you know. It makes me think of like the Muppets after Jim Henson died. What's up, Kuriko? Who's bro? Are we all bro? And welcome. Clerks 2 scene where Lord of the Rings is mocked. That's such a good scene, Gil. That's so good.
Oh my god.
Fucking Randall runs back in. Dante, I just made fun of the Lord of the Rings so hard I made a nerd puke. Also, Gil, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of like words that you can't say anymore in that scene.
There's a lot of words you can't say in that movie.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Fucking what's his name? Kevin Smith, I think, got in a lot of trouble for his old movies because he used language that was, you know, totally fine culturally at the time. And people were like, how dare you make this 20 years ago? And he's like, I'm sorry. Are you build map? Maybe. I'm not really sure how to answer your question, Kuroko, but I appreciate it. I appreciate you asking in the first place.
We are build map.
We am build map, yes. Are you build map? Kevin Smith went woke. It's like, working in entertainment, it's hard. It's very dangerous. You have to be careful with how you present.
Before that, I think Kevin Smith just got way too far up his own ass after Clerks 2 and just like was never very good again, in my opinion. But
yeah, he was better when he was sad and edgy and thought like everyone hated
unsuccessful
him.
And kind of poor. Yeah, totally.
It's huge. What's huge? We Are Map? We Are Built Map is huge? I mean, so Tony's doing some stuff with materials testing, I think, right now is why he's doing this.
Yeah. Trying to make it look like that like rubber pad that I put under like a playground.
Yeah.
So
to stop the stupid children from killing themselves on the monkey bars.
Exactly. I don't think they'd put monkey bars on a playground anymore, though. Seems like too big of a liability.
Yeah, actually, good question. Anyone out there in chat who has younger children, is that like, are playgrounds like too safe now? Because I remember
playground in my neighborhood that probably has monkey bars, but I don't know.
Gil, so wait, Gil, are you talking about the new He-Man? I kind of liked it, dude. Admittedly, I fell asleep during it, but I kind of liked it.
A glowing review.
I know that's a crazy thing to say, but while I was awake, yes, it was corny. It had some silly stuff going on, but the visuals were fucking awesome. The writing was really bad, but I think it's a fun ride.
The Skeletor in the gym shit is like kind of hilarious looking.
I really like Leto as Skeletor. I think he's great, and like the CG effects they did on him. I think my gripe is that they did some animation warping on like the mesh for like his teeth, because he's a skull, but they made it look like his teeth kind of move like lips so that it's a little more like natural for speaking. They should have just made him like a fucking puppet, dude, like a sock puppet. Like that would have been so much better.
This is what we're talking about. Probably get copyright struck for this, but whatever.
Is this actually in the movie, dude? I don't remember this at all.
I think it is. Yeah, this is the clip I keep seeing.
Oh my god, that's amazing! I gotta watch this again.
Dude, he's jacked as fuck.
He's crazy. Yes, he's super jacked the whole time.
And he just fucking hits him with the dumbbell.
Wait, is he finally getting canceled at her? Is he getting canceled because of Skeletor? That would be crazy if that's what's getting him canceled.
I saw this Onion headline that was like, entire nation shocked to learn that Jared Leto is not already a convicted sexual predator or something like that.
Yeah. Gil's talking about the animated version by Kevin Smith. I see.
They made an animated He-Man?
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. Must have been that bad.
If you're working on He-Man and make it about Tila, like, yeah, She-Ra would have been way better, dude. So Tila's in this one. I'm not gonna lie, I was never a huge He-Man fan as a kid, but I don't even fucking know who Tila is. I have no idea who Tila is. I watched the Dolph Lundgren one back in the day. Like that movie was ass. Like that movie was objectively bad. But I liked it still, And then so I would say the new one is better than the old one. And the like campy humor that they do actually works. It's not, they didn't try to like do a Disney thing. They made some pretty decent jokes that are like, PG, and they're totally fine. Tila's the sidekick and the daughter of the sorcerer. Oh, I got you. I think a new documentary is coming out about his cult. Jared Leto's got a cult?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about this. And then I remember people in chat were talking about the Joker, and I thought it was Heath Ledger. I just completely lost like the topic, and everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, I don't know. What are you talking about? I just read the shit on the screen, guys. Okay. So, I mean, we can definitely keep talking about Rings of Power and stuff. And Adder, I understand why you wouldn't want to talk about it. I'm sure you've got strong feelings about Rings of Power. I think just the weird part is like, bro, an orc as a friend is like, they already did so much crazy stuff with Rings of Power that is like not in line with Lord of the Rings. And I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. It makes me sad. Like, instead of taking, creating a new IP, people are like, let's take an old IP and just squeeze everything out of it and then throw that shit in the trash. No, I'll talk about
that
it.
Like verbatim what the people who bought the Lord of the Rings IP probably are saying in meetings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Embracer Group.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm disappointed by it too, Adder. I genuinely tried to go into it with an open mind and be like, okay, this is going to be an interesting story about, the early age before the books. Like, this will be cool. Like, Numenor sounds dope and all that shit. And like, it just fucking isn't. And like again, I have to go back to the proto hobbits were like the most frustrating shit for me. They were all like Quirk Chungai, and I just couldn't fucking handle it, man. It was so weird.
Is it based on the Silmarillion or whatever? No. Isn't that before Lord of the Rings?
It's not even based on that, dude. It is completely new creative license shit that they're doing.
Oh, we have source material we could adapt, but we won't.
Exactly. Like, yes.
Crazy.
Did Kuroko, did you just follow? We didn't see an alert, but we got an email.
I also don't see it in my event log.
Maybe Kuroko accidentally followed and then unfollowed. Either way, bro, I appreciate the thought. If I turned you away, with some of the things I was saying, that's okay. I appreciate you chatting. Source material, dude, I have my own imagination. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but that's always the problem with working on licensed stuff, man. Like, be faithful to the source material, for fuck's sake. And if you don't want to, don't work on a fucking licensed IP, man. That's always my take.
Yeah, Adder said, I'm all for breaking lore to make something dope, but they broke lore to make a shitty soap opera. Which is like, yeah, but it's like, also like,
fair.
If you haven't used up all the lore, I don't know, like maybe just like do that first, and then you can do other things.
100% Gil, Star Wars. I'm very confused about Star Wars now. I loved Star Wars. I was very into Star Wars until we got this whole Disney thing. And the early part of it was great. It was. I thought it was good. I was really into Ahsoka because I like Rosario Dawson. I like the story of Ahsoka. She did such a bad job. And I don't know if it's her acting. It can't be her acting because she has great range. So it's whoever directed Ahsoka to do what she did. She always took this like smirk. Like she would do a thing and then like do a battle pose and they would close up on her face and she had the same smirk. And that was her whole fucking character for the entire show. And I'm like, Ahsoka has so much more depth than that. Why would you do this? Why would you choose this? The only thing I come back to is they don't understand the source material. I was kidding. I'm just really disappointed. Yeah. Yep. Anna, yo, Anna, thank you. Thank you for the resub. Get them trees in there. What's hot D's? Who cares about source material? I followed Ahsoka. I completely lost them with the witches and zombies. Yeah, same Gil. It got really weird, and I'm like,
witches and zombies in Star Wars.
Yeah. House of the Dragon. Yo, I think House of the Dragon is definitely some hot D.
Hot D.
Dude, Anna, I like Game of Thrones, but I also kind of, I kind of love-hate it. I didn't read the books. I don't care about Martin. I think he's a hack writer. That's just my opinion. I know plenty of people love Martin and all that and whatever. I don't have the same gripes about the show because I had very low expectations. Like, that was my first exposure to Game of Thrones. And so I was fine with the ending. I know a lot of people were super fucking disappointed, but I'm like, I don't think the rest of the show is any better. But I still enjoyed it and I watch it and I like the costumes and, like Adder was saying, the visuals are great in Game of Thrones and like the visuals are great in Rings of Power, but like the writing is so fucking bad. Like it's just crazy. And when I say bad, I mean like disrespectful to the audience. It's like, you guys are too stupid to understand anything. So we have to do, did I talk about the Odyssey yet with you guys?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I saw it last week. So I think this is another good example. The Odyssey was a fine movie. It was not. I think my biggest takeaway is this: the Odyssey is a flashpoint for culture war bullshit. Both sides defending it and hating it are completely fucking wrong. People were talking about how Travis Scott raps in the fucking movie and how this is like an abomination, etc. He doesn't fucking rap in the movie, guys. He does like a spoken word, poetry to a room in context that makes sense of Ithacans, and he's telling the song of Odysseus. It makes sense. It's totally fucking fine. The issue I have, movie's way too long. It's 3 hours, which I'm all for a long movie, but the pacing is fucked. The first hour of the movie is really disjointed. And to be fair, the first, act of the Odyssey is also disjointed. So he's faithful to the source material in that regard. The visual effects were stunning. The cinematography, fucking fantastic. It's all practical effects, which is incredibly cool in 2026 when we have so much, CGI everything. They built an actual fucking boat. They had the actors on a boat doing all kinds of shit. They went to real locations and shot stuff on location. They used forced perspective for the Cyclops. The Cyclops looks very fucking cool. Horrifying creature that reminded me of like a 90s Tool music video. Like he looks super fucking cool. And then, yeah, Adder actually behind the scenes. So I will say this. I'll definitely watch the Odyssey again from home. I don't need to go see it in the theater for $25, But yeah, I think it's worth watching. It's it's Christopher Nolan. I like all his movies. I think they're great. I don't think it's his best movie by far. Like it's kind of the middle of his range. I don't think it's his worst movie. It could be, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad movie. So the first hour of pacing is just kind of wacky, but then it starts to pick up and be more cohesive. And getting back to that point, I remember, I think we even read it on stream. He was talking about in an interview making the movie, and the modern audience doesn't have an attention span long enough for a sustained shot. So for the first hour or so, the shots are like 3 to 5 seconds, which makes it feel very disjointed and fucked up in the pacing. And what I mean is like, there's a shot looking at a torch on the wall. That's 3 seconds. Jump cut to like a character's face. He says a couple words. Jump cut to another part of the scene. Like it does that for the first hour. It's just super short shots over and over again. And then it starts to get a little more into its rhythm and paced out, and it feels better. Speaking of, I'll say this, I don't want to get too deep on here, but the Elliot Page part where people were talking about Elliot Page being legendary hero Achilles and all this and that, and how this is a travesty. Elliot Page is a fucking minor character, a very minor character. It's a supporting role, and Elliot Page is not Achilles, and like only appears in a couple of scenes, and people were crashing the fuck out on the internet about it. It's so stupid. Elliot Page was fine, honestly. In context, Elliot Page is supposed to be a very young man, and like is a tragic character, an Ithacan that follows Odysseus to the siege of Troy at the behest of Agamemnon, right? Like totally fine, totally fucking fine. I took issue with like some of the things, like they had spears, so Elliot Page in like the first couple of scenes of the movie gets impaled with a spear. And I noticed that the leaf point, so like the tip of the spear, it's like a leaf bladed spear, which is a Greek spear, is the wrong direction. So it looked like Elliot Page was impaled with the butt of the spear, which I did not fucking understand at all. And I was watching in later scenes, there were like 2 points on either end of the spear. And I'm like, that's literally just not how spears work. So I don't fucking know. Bring back the Starbucks cup. Was it a House of Dragon Starbucks cup? Season 3 has been okay compared to the questionable season 1 and 2 of Hot D. I like some of the things and dislike the others. I've never watched Hot D. Anna, I couldn't handle it because of the violence and gore in the first episode. It was just arbitrary. And I was like, you're not even using this to like tell a story. It's like shock value. And I was like, I'm not on board with anything like that.
It's just like Game of Thrones then.
Yeah.
First episode's like, we're gonna slice this dude's throat and then titties and then like zombies over here and like incest and like that guy got impaled. Like that's the kind of show you're watching.
Marengo, you fucked that joke up. I think you were going for you ought to see D's nuts.
Nice.
But you said it all weird. I get it. I liked it. It wasn't the first time I saw that joke. Haven't seen it yet. Probably gonna wait for SDR streaming as Nolan intended. Yeah. I don't think you need to see it in IMAX, with a $40 ticket on a giant fucking screen. Like I don't think it matters all that much.
I feel like you got to see Dune that way.
Yeah, like Dune's more visually stunning. I do think that the Odyssey has outstanding visuals. It's really good. Grammar Nazi? Bro, how long have you been here? Some Roman and Greek spears were dual tipped. The back tip was a weighted blunt tip, so that'd probably suck to be impaled by. Yeah, I mean that's the point though, Adder, right? Like the leaf pointed, like the leaf shaped spear point was like what you would use in combat. The blunt point on the other side is not what you would use. Is like, so the spear was thrown at I can't remember the character's name. It's a Greek name of an Ithacan, but it was thrown like backwards, which is really weird. So like the leaf point was like sticking out from the top, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I enjoy a Knight of the 7K. Oh yes, Anna, dude, that shit is so good. I loved watching a optimistic, positive story set in the Game of Thrones universe.
Was that good? I downloaded that and I haven't watched it yet.
It's very good, dude. It's super fucking interesting because there's no magic, there's no dragons, there's no zombies. It's literally just a dude who's becoming a knight. That's it. And it's really fucking cool. So like, it's just him dealing with maybe getting his ass beat or killed by like another dude who's really scary. And he's like trying to figure it all out. I was here for you to disrespect that other viewer. Which one? You got to be more specific again, Marengo. Oh, were you talking about Kuriko when he said "RU build map"? It's huge. I mean, hey, his only vector for communication is text chat, and if he can't do that, like, I'm not going to participate in that kind of conversation.
Not doing anybody favors by coddling him in that situation.
No, that's crazy. Read some fucking books. Oh, what's up, Omni? Absolutely not first. Dude, do we need to put the board up? Omni, I think you're in second, but you're close to being overtaken by Brightside or tied.
I like how you said it like, don't make me come back there.
Yeah, exactly.
Do we need to put the board up?
Do we need to put the fucking board up? So
Here's your board.
LFQ is the points leader for first by a wide margin. So there you go. You got your work cut out for you, bro. You're about to get caught. You're about to get passed. And you're very far away from LFQ. Sometimes Martin is too harsh and gratuitous in his violence. I don't think that's even Martin, Anna, is it? Because like in the books, didn't he wrote chapters about a feast?
Yeah.
So he was
he
like
also
really weird
like, wrote
about
chapters about like Reek getting his skin peeled off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Anna. That's why, and the reason why I say his writing isn't great is because he will build up a character, paint it into a corner with character progression where it's super complicated to get out, and then he just murders the character in a horrible way. And you're like, why did you fucking build that character up, man? Why did you do this?
Or like the show had, I don't know, 15 loose ends that never really got wrapped up and they just kind of ignored. Like at the point where we're at in the books, there's probably like 70 or something like that. There's like entire characters who like, I don't know, like there's like an implication that like Catelyn Stark comes back from the dead after the Red Wedding, but like nobody knows anything about it because he hasn't written another book. There's just like one scene in one book that kind of makes it seem like maybe it's her, but it's kind of ambiguous. Like there's just like so many things like that like it would be cool to find out what he actually wanted to do with it because they never did it in the show. But I've lost all faith. I don't think he's ever actually going to.
No, why would he, dude? He's got the bag. He can just chill in the pool.
He'll die. Somebody will take it over. They'll write something. It won't be good. That'll be it. Like,
Unless it's James A. Corey.
I mean, yeah, I would feel weird about like, since he didn't write it, like it's just like some fanfic effect essentially at that point to me, and like I don't care about it. So I don't know.
Weren't they his ghostwriters though?
They were his like assistants when they were like getting started. So they like,
Okay.
I don't know about ghostwriters, but they helped him do stuff for sure. They learned from him, and
yeah, we're talking about a bunch of stuff, Omni. Sorry, let me back up here. I'd probably pay to see Dune in IMAX if I cared enough, but the beer menu at Alamo or Flicks are hard to beat. Yeah, I mean, like, I like Dune's visuals a ton, but I really like Denis Villeneuve, and yeah. So
I don't know, like Alamo's sick, but like I'm kind of with Vince where it's like I'm not going to go to the theater all that much, and if I am, it's like very specifically because I'm going to see like a very special movie, and I generally want to see it in like IMAX or with like an insane sound system or something. So, like, I don't know. I've kind of like come around on like Alamo's sick, but like if I'm going to pay like $40 to go see a movie, it's generally because like I'm trying to go like have the cinema experience, and like I don't give a shit about the reclining chair and like all of that stuff so much anymore because I just don't really go otherwise. But Alamo's always a good time. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, Gil saying what we were talking about with like Martin's work in Game of Thrones. That was the fate of the Dune series. The books were picked up by his son, Frank Herbert's son.
Yep.
Yeah,
he wrote like everything after 3, I think, was written by his son or something, right?
Yeah.
So, and I know that's gone okay. And like the Wheel of Time books, Brandon Sanderson took over those after like there's like a period of time where like the original author and him co-wrote 4 or 5 of them, and then the original author retired and Brandon Sanderson just took them over from there, and like I think is still writing them. There's like 30 Wheel of Time books.
Is Kuriko spam following us now? We just got another one saying Kuriko's following. Maybe Kuriko was like panic clicking on follow, unfollow. Email? Yeah.
Sometimes the emails just come twice, so yeah.
I
don't see it in like my event log thing, so it's whatever.
I'm just making sure they're not trying to do something like sussy, you know?
For sure.
LFQ with the Dan's game emote about being in first. Sorry, LFQ. I know. We love you and you are awesome, and don't let other people tell you otherwise. Let's see. Yeah, we're talking Martin. He already said he was working on something else instead of Game of Thrones. Martin's been writing more Night of the Seven Kingdoms than Game of Thrones stories. So is he writing the Night of the Seven Kingdoms? Is that where it came from? Because that, I mean, I definitely have more respect for him.
It was a side book that he wrote. Okay. I want to say after the most recent Game of Thrones book that he wrote. Like he's written like 2 or 3 side books and not the main one.
You're blonde, Gil? I would have never known. I'm just messing with you. I know what Gil looks like. We've had a couple calls and like with webcams and stuff, so I'm just messing with you, bro. That's valid. I actually kind of enjoyed the experience of not giving a shit about the min-max of visuals, trying to fit in with normies with a beverage. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Yep. James McAvoy? No, I think he meant James Marsden. Sorry. Because he was talking about the miniseries. No, you're wrong. I don't have any hair. That's what I was joking about, Gil. That's okay, brother. I'm old. I'm barely hanging on to mine, so you know it is what it is.
That being said, I think I am going to see Spider-Man at Alamo. Like,
okay, the Spider-Man dude.
Monday, like a week from Monday, something like that. But.
Oh yeah, Adder's a fellow Baldman. He fucking keeps that shit tidy. I think you wear it well, Adder. You have a nice beard though, so that probably helps. It'd be tough being, bald with no beard, I think. I've got a couple friends who are bald. The stash is a mainstay. There you go. Yeah, dude, I hate my mustache. I fucking really hate my mustache.
Someday I'm going to gain the courage to just rock a mustache for a while.
I believe in you, Tony. Do it.
One of these days. I have to get my wife on board probably more than anybody else. But
let's go in October, dude. I'll grow the beard out, I
was like, that's not for a while, but fuck, that's only like 2 months.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like I'm growing my beard right now. This is probably, I don't think I've shaved in like 5 days. So it'd just be doing that. It is a little annoying. Man, they keep cranking out Spider-Mans like it's candy. Yes, absolutely, Omni. That is a very, very valuable IP, and they will continue to crank out
I
Spider-Man.
mean, the last one was like, it's been years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd go candy. No Way Home was in
Marengo, you should trust Tony. He's worth trusting.
2021. What are
Yeah,
we
I guess
trusting?
that's been a while. Marengo was saying I don't trust any man without facial hair.
I mean, I can grow it, but it don't look good and it don't come in very full.
I respect that you don't try to have a beard if it's patchy.
Yeah.
I do have to say, it's a very weird fashion trend where like dudes who can't grow beards are growing beards nowadays and just walking around in public like it's normal. And it's like,
Yeah.
dude, your beard looks awful. Like, don't fucking do whatever you're doing. Just be honest with yourself. If you have a weird beard, don't fucking wear it. Like, just keep that shit tidy. Or if you're doing it to troll people and you think it's fucking funny, also perfectly acceptable. I'm cool with that. I have a buddy who used to grow a mustache when he was in the military because it was within regulation and it pissed everyone off. But they couldn't make him not do it because he always kept it within regulation and it looked fucking terrible. Marvel's become a burden to me since I had to watch other movies to follow some of the plots. At a certain Doctor Strange movie I just gave up after people in the cinema had to update me about 1 to 2 seasons of a Disney show I hadn't seen before. Yeah,
it's the last Doctor Strange movie, and that's entirely valid because I've kind of felt the same ever since.
Yeah, and Gil, that's a very fair criticism. I think MCU has completely fucking lost the plot. And I would be willing to bet it's because Stan passed away. And Stan was very much involved in the rise of the MCU. He was the guy. Now they have fucking free reign to do whatever nonsense they want. And they're really just ruining the IP and wearing people out. People just don't give a shit about Marvel stuff.
After Endgame, they just kind of went like, well, obvious next thing to do, alternate dimensions. Start pulling out those things. And so like immediately after Endgame, you had a Spider-Man movie where they introduced the alternate dimension thing, and then it's followed by Loki, which is like about him going to the VTA or whatever, or TVA, where he's like in between dimensions. And then you have the Doctor Strange movie where they're just like, there are a billion alternate dimensions. And then from there, it's just been like, you can do whatever you want in Marvel. There's no rules.
So I do want to throw this out there. There is justification for that in Marvel canon. It was the What If series, but they were always like one-off things. And it was like, what if this certain thing in the plot didn't happen? So like, what if this Spider-Man plot point didn't occur? What if Peter Parker actually died? Like, what would the universe be like after that? But they were like a single run issue. There was one exception that I know of from the 90s, which was the Age of Apocalypse. And that was if the X-Men hadn't defeated Apocalypse, what would the universe look like? And that shit was really good. They made multiple runs of that. Magneto becomes the head of the X-Men because like his whole plot being, you know, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and all that, and like having mutant dominance over, you know, regular humanity, that all fell to the wayside when Apocalypse just enslaved the entire human race. And so he, you know, Xavier was killed by Apocalypse or by Onslaught or Holocaust, one of those things. Onslaught was like Xavier's mind. It gets very weird. But anyway, the X-Men are very interesting at that point. Wolverine is completely feral. He has no control over his mind because Magneto ripped all the adamantium out of his skeleton and he survived it. So he's like a wild creature. Sabretooth is one of the X-Men as well. It's very weird, but it was super cool.
And then Marvel Zombies too. That one was interesting. Yeah.
That was another what if. So all the things that you're talking about, which I think are fully valid criticisms of the MCU, come from What If, which was always meant to be like a side, you know, thing when you're like, I want more.
Well, I think it was fine as that, but they're just like, all right, the mainline movies now. We're just gonna we're working it in. It's like, I don't know about that.
It was never meant to be that, and it's getting pretty wacky. I do still want to see a Gambit movie if they end up finishing that.
That would be amazing. Yeah, they should definitely do more X-Men stuff, and I just really haven't.
Deadpool movies were great. I really like
Yep.
those. And to be fair, that's not Disney that did that. That was Ryan Reynolds. Ryan like drove that. And the whole reason why Channing Tatum might be Gambit is because of Ryan Reynolds. And he's like, make this guy Gambit. He gets it.
They canceled the Blade movie, so who knows?
That might have been a good idea, honestly. It seems like they weren't doing the right thing. So
Probably,
yeah. And how did you make a Blade movie that isn't Wesley Snipes? Come on.
It wasn't not going to be Wesley Snipes. I thought it was Wesley Snipes. Oh, okay.
Nope.
Weird, because he was in the
Yep.
Deadpool movie.
Yes. There was a very visceral reaction from fans being like, what the fuck are you doing? And they killed it.
Okay.
LFQ says, I care so little about my facial hair. I'll leave it growing for months and then cut it off. I mean, yeah, I'm the same way, LFQ. Honestly. I do get my beard shaped like usually once in the 6 month time that I have a beard, but it is what it is. The new one has a lot of hype. I'm surprised, to be honest. Yeah, for the Spider-Man, I agree, Adder. I don't know why it's super popular. Sony's trying to make that money back on Bungie. Oh shit, dude, that's so real. Omni says, I'm looking more forward to Doomsday, but don't know how I feel about Downey being Doom. I think that would be fine, honestly. I feel like he makes a good Victor, but like we gotta wait and see. It could be a struggle.
Do you think they'll acknowledge it?
No,
that's what everybody keeps talking about.
No, they can't.
Well, but like because they're doing the alternate dimension thing, like I could see the plot point being like people in the Iron Man universe where he died, like, he somehow gets over there and then they're like, what the fuck, that's Tony Stark, and then they're like, no, it's not, it just looks like him because it's like him from another dimension or something. Like,
I see what you mean.
I presume that's what they're gonna do, but I don't know.
Like, they might. You're right.
And everybody's like upset because they think it's Tony Stark, but it's not, and then they think like Tony Stark is evil or something. Like I can just see the plot in my mind already, but like I don't know.
Anna says, to be honest, I only watched the Avengers movies and the Winter Soldier. Anna, you don't even have to LOL about that. That's totally fine. I think those are the important ones. Like if you watch the Iron Mans that are, if you watch the like Avengers Infinity Stone saga, that's great. That's fantastic. And that's based on Ultimate Avengers.
You could skip all of the Loki movies, in my opinion, or all of the Thor movies, in my opinion. You shouldn't skip the Captain America movies. The Iron Man movies, I don't think are very good, so you can kind of skip those too. But yeah, and then you just watch the Avengers, and I think you get the high points.
LFQ, I've watched them all. Don't watch the other ones. You're fine. You watched Endgame and then Deadpool. Great. You picked the right ones.
I've watched them like front to back every movie too many times, but
Adder says some people struggle to shower. Cutting out shaving is easier than shaving. Yeah, that's very real. I mean, that's why I like shave like once a week. Anna was saying then you need to watch a different series and 20 different movies. Yeah, so for me, like I've told you guys before, the weirdest part for me is realizing that people's first exposure to Marvel is the MCU, and I can't understand what that must be like. I could see why that would piss people off, but like I've been reading comics since I was like 8, and the comics I read were Marvel comics, so I'm pretty attached to that creatively. Like it has like a special place in my heart. So it was very, very cool to finally see my favorite stories like turning into movies that were really good and like good casting and faithful to like the narratives and stuff like that. So that's very cool to me. But if your first exposure to Marvel is the MCU, fuck, dude. Like, oh my God, that would be so tiring. And I get why people are like, I have superhero movie fatigue. I totally understand. And I guess my counterpoint is I don't know much of DC because I never really read DC, but I think the majority of DC movies, especially with the DCU, is garbage. I cannot fucking stand them. Justice League and shit and a bunch of Supermans, the same fucking story. It's so irritating. And all the Batmans, like, ugh. Some of the few movies I actually watch. Nice, dude. I mean, LFQ, I can put you onto some cinema. Adder says, I'm so sad that Blade got cut. That was the only Marvel movie I've been excited about. I'm really surprised Arcane hasn't had their project cut. Maybe French government funding it for now, keeping the news quiet. France doesn't like the news being about them. Yeah, absolutely. Literally breaking the fourth wall. Characters being annoyed with the writers. Gil said the What If is literally a merchandised fanfic series. Yes, it is. Absolutely. That's why I was saying it was fine as like, the side comics that they had back in the day. But it's weird to make that kind of your mainstay of new like IP content. That's very weird to me. It doesn't make a lot of sense. What, we can't believe they couldn't cast anyone else? Oh, you like the Charlie Cox Daredevil? Anna, I tried to watch those. My wife liked them a lot more, and she was not familiar with Daredevil. I used to like Daredevil comics a little bit, but like, I don't know. I mean, I recognize that it was good, but it just didn't do it for me.
Did you like Ben Affleck Daredevil?
Yeah, it's my favorite one.
It was actually like, I remember it being pretty good. Like,
it was fine. It wasn't that great. Charlie Cox was definitely a more like accurate.
Colin Farrell as Bullseye.
Yeah.
Great. There was like a toothpick into a dude's head.
Oh man, it's just so weird. And then Elektra, because she was like a cameo and then got her own movie. I did enjoy the series more than I thought I would have. Yeah, I think that it was shockingly good to a lot of people. The Daredevil series. DC and Marvel comics are very niche comic books. While I was a teenager, like rich kids had access because it's expensive, but didn't know some of the story told by friends. Yeah, that's interesting, Anna, because like those comics weren't expensive for me. I want to say the comics were like maybe $1. And I got them at the airport newsstand when I was like flying back and forth all the time. So, I would usually get like 2 comics on the way out, and I had like a 45-minute flight. And then when I got to the airport to fly back, I would get 2 more comics, and I would do that every other week. And I did that for probably like 2.5 years. So that was what really got me into comics. Growing up when I was in like 3rd grade, my best friend in elementary school was very into them. So he was like, check out these, Marvel trading cards. And like, we would play like Marvel Heroes all the time, and we were hanging out at school and whatnot at recess. So that was kind of like how it all congealed for me. And I really liked trying to learn how to draw from Stan Lee's, like, you can draw, comic heroes or whatever book that he did. I got all those and I was very into that. DC and Marvel were expensive here. We had other cheaper comic books. How much, like, when you say expensive, was it like $10 for one of them? I'm just curious. I'm not trying to like, it's knowledge I don't have. It's very interesting to think about that. I watched the first 2 seasons. I had no desire to watch the third. Yeah, that's where I was feeling about it, LFQ. Oh shit, Tony had the Sanic comic where he kisses Amy Rose for the first time. Ooh.
Collector's item.
But yeah, I used to go to comic book shops all the time, and I got collector's cards and all that stuff. I had a binder of like Marvel Masterpiece and all that stuff. I was very into it for a long time when I was a kid. Let's see what's going on over here. That's that thing. Okay, cool. So, all right. We took a detour, but let's get back to some game industry stuff. Asha Sharma says Xbox expects to return to growth by this time next year, as it reports an annual decline in revenue. So this isn't just a quarterly decline. Again, they lost more money. Xbox content revenue decreased 10% in the last quarter, with hardware declining 13%.
She went up in front of the fucking shareholders. She's like, guys, there's good news. We can only go up from here.
Yeah, exactly.
The numbers are going to be in the green next time we do this because we're at the very bottom.
10% in a quarter. Holy, yeah, Adder. Yeah, it's fucking doom and gloom, dude. It is definitely beyond free fall. Yeah, that's the worst quarter I think they've had in 10 years. And we were talking about last quarter was the worst quarter. So they're just doing worse quarter over quarter. It makes sense why Phil Spencer didn't get to stay, right? Like, if they want to be like, hey, Phil Spencer's retiring, we bid him a fond farewell. I think the reality is, hey, Phil, you have been fucking this brand up for too long and you can't keep doing what you're doing because it's not working, buddy. So then they send in the hatchet men. Now they're chopping everybody's heads off and ruining things even more. But I don't know.
They pulled all of his metaphorical children out in front of him and,
Yeah.
started shooting them. And he's like, you got to do better yet?
Yeah, exactly. 10% and a quarter is time to wrap this whole thing up, guys. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean when I say they brought in the hatchet men. What that means is these are the people who are evaluating the brand, looking, scrutinizing every corner of the business, and then making decisions about which ones have potential and which ones are already a lost cause. So I expect to see significant changes to Xbox over the next year, if not a full-scale shutdown. Anna said, yeah, about that for the price of Marvel and DC comics, like $10 a comic. That's way too much. I don't blame you. What comics did you get? Did you get some like weird French shit like Obelix and Asterix or some shit like that? I know that people fucking love those, and I cannot stand those comics. I've tried reading them, and I'm like, what? Maybe I don't get it because I'm not French. Never say it could be worse, because it could be worse, Tony. Yeah, that's true. I didn't realize it was that bad. I'd also be shutting everything down if I was them. I'm surprised they weren't more ruthless. 10% is insane. Yeah. Okay. So Microsoft posted its financial reports for the last quarter on Wednesday, stating that while the company as a whole was seeing continued growth, with revenue and operating income both up 18%, the Xbox division was seeing reduced revenues. So Microsoft as a business is doing well, but Xbox is losing a lot of fucking money. According to its Q4 financial year 2026. So this is a weird thing, guys. We do, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but we do fiscal year ending in summer, which is strange, but I don't know. I guess it's better for taxes or some shit like that. It's easier to keep your books that way. So that's why you get this. That's how you get this information. The other reason is because they're publicly traded companies, so they have to disclose information publicly because shareholders need to know that for investment purposes. You can't like lie and make shit up. So they have to be honest and talk about these things in a public way. So then journalists, who aren't shareholders can check out that meeting and be like, hey, here's some bad news. Or, hey, here's some good news. So in this case, it's here's some bad news. I loved Obelix and Asterisk, but I only saw the English dub movies. What was good about it, Gil? Like, legit, I'm not trying to quiz you. I just don't get it. I don't understand what's so interesting. Can you explain, like, what's fun about the characters? Like, how it's relatable? Because it is so weird to me. Embracer Group about to buy Xbox for pennies. Oh, my God, dude. That is the bleakest shit I've ever heard, Adder. That's... Holy fuck, I hope that doesn't happen. Okay. Or maybe it should. Maybe Embracer should take a huge fucking L so they stop doing this. Xbox hardware revenue also declined according to Microsoft with a 13% drop compared to Q4 financial year 2025. Holy shit. That's really bad. 13% loss in a full year on your hardware division. This has been a recurring situation for Xbox throughout the past financial year. Microsoft's Q3 earnings report showed that Xbox content and services revenue was down 5% based on the same period last year, and that hardware revenue was down 33% year on year. Oh my God, this is really bad. Its Q2 earnings result also showed year-on-year declines of 5% and 32% respectively, while Q1 showed a growth of 1% in content and services, but a 29% decline in hardware revenue. Sharma says growth will take time. Yeah, so what she's doing right now is like burning the whole forest down to let new growth happen. If she does it right, it's not the end of Xbox. If she doesn't do it right, or in some cases does it right, it is literally the death of Xbox. So posting on Twitter, Sharma stated that while Xbox saw new players trying its services for the first time in the past financial year, that hasn't yet resulted in a notable growth, but that expectation was that the company would start seeing growth again by the end of 2027. Okay, so that means her plans to slash and burn are going to run all the way through 2027, probably midway through the year. And as they're trying to spin other things up or, move funds around to support different divisions of Xbox, that's where she's going to try to see growth. So growth in that regard means operational spend needs to come down. So this is, of course, layoffs, which she's been very, candid about and said, everyone get ready because layoffs will continue through 2027. So she's going to have to get rid of the expensive stuff, stabilize the budget, and then start growing things or supporting things that do have potential to make more money for that division of Microsoft. Ooh. Adder says you could hear a pin drop in that earnings call. Yeah, dude, I wouldn't, honestly, to be fair, I wouldn't want to be fucking Asha Sharma in that earnings call. Jesus Christ, that would be so hard. Like, as soon as it's done and you try to like keep your brave face on the whole time, I'd be like, we're going to the fucking bar. Or I'd be like, I'm going to the bar. I'm renting the bar for myself and I'm going to drink until until it's tomorrow, Okay, that's the point. It was not the same Hanna-Barbera formula. It was different as Squid Game is today. Oh, I see. Okay, so that was what kind of stories were they, I guess? Was it like real life stories, but they had these like wacky characters? Anna says we did have Asterix and others. We also had Disney's very cheap because a big national publisher bought the rights and sold it very cheap. Also, we had very popular national comics and some other LATAM writers. That's really fucking cool. I don't know anything about like LATAM comics. I didn't even realize that was like a thing, obviously, because I'm an American, right? Like, and the world revolves around us. So I'm being, sarcastic. Yeah, I just know that that's kind of the perception, right? Our culture's relatively insulary. So we're kind of stuck in our own little space. That's why I like to talk to people who grew up in different ways.
I'm scrolling Twitter while you're talking, and I just read that Microsoft stock opened 15% up today, by the way.
Probably because Asha was like, hey, we took huge losses, and people like, yo, go buy a bunch of that shit. It's going to be fucking going down, boys. Buy the dip. Argentinian comic books were so good. Osterheld's The Eternaut. There's a very good Netflix miniseries about it. And is that Kino's Mafalda? Or Kino? I will admit they gave me a lot of very understandable context behind Microsoft's recent choices. Damn, I need to check my 401k. Oh, shit, Adder. Yeah. Hey, Adder, for what it's worth, my fucking Sony 401k from being at Bungie, because now it's Sony, right? That shit is doing good, dude. It had huge fucking gains last quarter, and I don't know how, but it did. So what are you gonna do, right? Okay. I don't know if I read this part. Posting on X, Sharma stated that I said X. Posting on Twitter, Sharma stated that while Xbox saw new players trying its services for the first time in the past financial year, that hasn't yet resulted in a notable growth, but that the expectation was that the company would start seeing growth again by the end of year 2027. In fiscal year 26, over 200 million new players came to Xbox in our games, but our business did not grow with our audience. We need to close that gap by investing in what players value. That will take time, but we expect to return to growth by the end of 2027. During Microsoft's presentation, Satya Nadella referred to Xbox's decline, stating that the company was in the process of undertaking the reset mentioned by Sharma in the past. When it comes to Xbox, we are making the necessary decisions required across our content portfolio, platform, and operations to reset the business for long-term growth. We have the best IP in the industry. I don't think that's true. And talented studios around the world, and believe that we can bring these strengths together and expect to return to business to growth in fiscal 2027. I mean, they need to unfuck Halo Studios, and that has a lot of potential to be really good for them.
They might have the best IP in the industry, but they haven't done anything good with it since it was popular.
I know this.
They own Elder Scrolls and Fallout and Halo and fucking Gears of War and so many things I'm not even thinking of right now, and every single thing I just said has kind of been squandered. But
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I think a good counterpoint. I I guess I don't think they own the best IP right now because, like you were saying, it was squandered. So I think there's a lot of faith lost in all the things you just mentioned there.
No doubt.
So I think what they really need to do is realize that people who like Halo, like military, guns, violence, killing aliens, they like role playing as the stoic, silent protagonist. They just need to realize that and make a game that does those things well. They will be totally fucking fine if they do that. Honestly, it's not hard. They just need to do that. But for some reason, they're fucking not. They're trying to like one up themselves on their last failure to be like, no, we didn't get it last time, but we're gonna try again. It's gonna work, guys, because I got this new idea, and it's nothing anyone wants from the the fandom. Like they're just not interested in any of this shit. Okay. Part of this return to growth and the reset described by Sharma and Nadella has involved major layoffs. Yep, 1,600 jobs cut earlier this month, further 1,600 to be made throughout 2027. This included cutting ties with numerous Xbox-owned studios. Compulsion, Double Fine have now returned to fully independent studios. Ninja Theory and Undead Labs have entered terms to join new ownership. Oh, God, who was it? Was it Double Fine that had to lay people off after they went indie again? I'm pretty sure. Let me see if I can find this article. Which is sad. Yeah, it's sad, but like they're still open, which is a good thing. So the studio says the action was necessary for its survival following its departure from Xbox, and Double Fine has laid off 23 staff after going indie. Studio founded in 2000 by Tim Schafer, acquired by Microsoft in 2019, developed Rad, Psychonauts 2, Keeper and Kiln. Let's see. Blah blah blah. I want to get through all this. It's talking about more shit, which I just mentioned. Double Fine has found itself having to cut costs to remain a going concern. What the fuck? This is a weird sentence. As a newly independent studio, however, Double Fine has found itself having to cut costs to remain a going concern, which it said has led to layoffs. What does remaining a going concern mean? Is this some weird, like, British turn of phrase? I say weird because, like we invented English, not the Brits. Today, Double Fine Productions let go of 23 members of our staff. As a small, tightly knit team, these actions are not taken lightly. Only the survival of our studio would ever make us consider such a painful action. Our transition to becoming an independent company also means becoming a size we can sustain. Remember, guys, operations costs are the highest for any business. If operations isn't your highest cost, you're making mistakes. Like that's normal. It should be the highest. That doesn't mean, oh, we're not spending enough on operations. Let's crank this number up. You want your operations to be as cheap as possible and then cheap on other things. But that's always a lever you can pull to keep staying in business, Yeah, Double Fine let off 27 people. They're still at 75, which is huge for AA. Yeah, totally. Mandatory in office, that's crazy. Throwing a huge stack of cash at Gears of War. Big time recruiting right now. Salary ranges are healthy. That's good to hear. I'm not sure how I feel about E-Day, Tony, but if you want to play it, we can. I love Gears.
I don't know. We'll see.
Psychonauts was dope. I never played it, but I know a lot of people love Psychonauts, so that's totally cool. People we were losing were all important. They all made an impact on our games and culture, and they will be missed. We're committed to supporting each affected person as best we can, and we thank them for their hard work and commitment to the creative spirit we cherish here at Double Fine. While becoming an independent studio is doubtless considered preferable to being shut down entirely, the move is not a guarantee of safety, and each studio will have to work on new projects soon to bring in finances. Earlier this month, Compulsion, which also recently became independent, posted a message on its LinkedIn page reaching out to other studios, offering collaborative work on projects they need a partner for. I think that's not a good sign. Like, you're a fan of Psycho Yeses? I appreciate the optimism there, Mocap. That's great. Stay positive, bro. Who wants a psycho no when you can be a psycho yes?
It's the power of positive mindset.
Some fucking Tony Robbins type shit. Okay, so we got some EA Sports shit. Do you guys care about any fucking sports games? I feel like there's no sports game people in chat. Actually, yeah, I think that's
We don't
a
have
good
any
point.
ball gamers.
Yeah, and like I don't hate sports games, by the way. I put in some fucking crazy hours in NHL games. Like I've played a lot of sports games.
You ever play
They're
NBA
pretty fun.
Street?
Yeah, dude.
NBA
But
Street was so fun.
I was more of a NBA Jam fan because that
Okay.
shit was so good, dude. Boom shakalaka, he's on fire from downtown, etc. It was such a cool game. But yeah, if you guys are wait, who was definitely a psycho not? I was at a music festival and our passenger was so mad at my toxic positivity. Why, dude? No,
Were you
you're not.
driving somebody?
You're not toxically positive, dude. Like I think toxic positivity is when something is going really bad and someone's being sarcastically positive about it. Where you're like, "Oh man, I just crashed my car. Fuck. This is fucked. Like how am I going to get myself out of the situation?" And they're like, "Well, at least you didn't break your legs and it's only going to cost you $20,000." That's when I'm like, "Dude, shut the fuck up, man."
You just
You
always
know?
got to keep it's not a contest in your back pocket. I feel like it applies
Exactly.
to every situation.
Exactly. Yeah, when you can
Yep.
respond to someone with "It's not a contest," then that's definitely,
Yep.
like, toxic positivity.
Because people just love like I don't know. I was watching some. It was probably like Landman or something, and they were talking about
Yeah.
like something about like the pollution from the oil wells, and he goes, "Well, this is nothing compared to the lithium mines in China," and it's like it's not a contest. They're both bad.
Yep.
Like, why is that the response? That's crazy. Like
Landman is so good with the way
Landman's so fucking
yeah, the way he presents the, like, the whole energy situation too is so interesting.
It's just like, yeah, it's all fucked up. Like,
Yeah,
none
he's
of
like, "It
it is
fucking
good.
sucks,
Like,
but
it's
we're here
terrible.
doing it."
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, "You're not gonna fucking change the world if you turn
Yep.
it off right now. Like, it's just not gonna happen. So
Yep.
just do your fucking job and, like, drill this oil."
It's filled with a lot of messages of like, look, all of this is stupid. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it definitely, like, influenced my take on that stuff too, like watching
Yeah.
Landman did. NBA Jam was fun, NFL Blitz, yeah, exactly.
NFL Blitz was sick, dude. Catching on fire and
Yes.
blowing people up. So good.
Oh no, mocap goes, "We were stuck in line," and I was like, "It is what it is." Yeah, dude, that shit would be pissing me off too, mocap, not gonna lie. All right. Maybe your homie was right to be mad at you, bro. If you're stuck in line, I'd just try to be like, let's do something that's entertaining while we're all stood here, like, not being happy about it. I'm a yapper. You guys know that. I can carry a conversation in line. Let's see. Okay, 19 minutes of Gears of War E-Day Horde Siege mode. Oh yeah, do you want to talk about this, Tony? The 12 player?
Yeah, I don't have too much to say about it. 12 player just seems crazy to me. Like, I really like Horde mode, but 12 player, like, it's like inaccessible.
Yeah,
in my
3
opinion,
squads.
unless you have like matchmaking, which I don't want to play Horde mode matchmaking. That sounds stupid too.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of with you on that.
Yeah,
I did play match made Horde mode a lot back in Gears 2 or 3, whenever the fuck they introduced it. And I'm really good at Gears. I don't know why. It's like the game that I just take to naturally and play really well.
I have a lot of fond memories of like playing Horde mode with my friends and stuff, but it was always like, I don't know, like one or two of us usually. Definitely not a lot of people.
Oh, mocap, in your defense, I agree with that mentality. Well, to me, it's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do about standing in line? Like, I can't, being pissed off isn't going to make the line move faster. Yeah, no, that's very real, dude. Yeah. I was just fucking with you. How can you be mad about being stuck in a line? There are more people than one that needs to go, obviously. I mean, okay, we're Western society posting, and like standing in a queue is very Western society, and like I'm all for it. I think it's totally fine. Wait patiently, be polite to other people, like that's normal, I think. When it's just like a smash of people grabbing as many things as they can, that shit drives me crazy. I can't do that. Like, I will literally just leave. I will be like, well, this is not a thing I want to participate in. But, if people can just stand in a line and, not be rude to each other, not cut in front of someone, infringe on someone's personal space, I'm totally fine with standing in line. I think it's great. Yeah, everyone else is in the same position. I feel that way a lot. Like, I mean, not to like kick the hornet's nest here, But I know one of the things that is somewhat a problem, at least in American culture recently, is that people of my generation who have kids decide that they can just bring their kids wherever the fuck they want and turn them loose, and these kids just trash public spaces. So like, I live in an area where there's a lot of young families, and like if we go out to like a fried chicken restaurant that is a brewery and serves beer, which we like to go to a lot, every single time we go, a family will show up with like 6 children and turn them fucking loose. And they just are, there's no discipline. They should not be at a restaurant in public space. It's not a cheap place either. And I'm like, the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you ruining someone else's time because of your desire to be at this place? Like, you had kids. Deal with having kids. Don't make it the society's problem, you know? It's not beneath me to trip over a kid running between the two. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I mean, I have the same problem at the gym, which is kind of crazy. So, like, you guys know
Dude, the ones at the gym, though, like, oh my god.
Yeah, so I climb, like rock climbing in a gym, and some people think that it's a daycare, and they bring their kids and turn them loose. I've seen kids get kicked in the face, have like 160 plus pound adult fall on them, and I'm like,
it could literally die in some of these situations. Like, it'd just be crushed. Yeah.
And it's not the fault of the person kicking the kid in the face or falling on the kid. It's the parents who don't tell them, hey, this is dangerous. Like, you literally sign a fucking waiver that's like, this is a dangerous sport and you can get hurt. And they just don't care. They just turn the fuck loose. And the crazy thing to me about it is the parents that do this are not climbing. They sit in the front in the lobby in like a little cafe area, and they like read a book, or most of the time they're just doom scrolling on their fucking phone, and they just turn their kids loose. They're not there at the gym to work out or use the facility. They are there to occupy their children, and they make it strangers who are there to like work out, enjoy the sport, regulate their kids. People's etiquette sometimes in the gym. Haven't seen a kid in the gym though. Damn. Well, I mean, it's a rock climbing gym, which like, rock climbing is a very friendly sport to kids. It's great for kids. Honestly, it really is. But being a responsible parent, and like, man, there was a time. Okay, so we were doing a boulder where you have to jump probably about 5 or 6 feet, and you catch a thing with your hands, and your legs and your lower body swing. And I watched this dude with a toddler just let his toddler walk towards a person who was doing this. And I go, hey, man, watch it. And he goes, yeah, I know. And just continued to let his kid go in front of the person. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He didn't come back. But I think he didn't come back because I was like, dude, you're going to get your baby kicked in the face. There are people, like adults, jumping where you're letting your kid just fucking walk. What's wrong with you, man? I feel like, so I'm also not shy about being like, hey, little guy, don't be there, you know, and I'll do it like that with like a dad voice, like a stern tone. I'm like, hey, yo, no running. And then they get scared and they like chill out, because it's like the first time they received any discipline whatsoever. I'm not like, you fucking idiot kid, you know, I'm not like going crazy, but like, I'll get stern and be like, don't do what you're doing. Stop it. And, you know, if they look at me, like, I'll be like, you could get hurt. Just be careful. This is not a playground. But yeah, I mean, shit. I think this morning, this wasn't even a kid. This was a whole ass adult. I'm warming up and I'm like at the top of the wall. So I'm probably like, what is it, Tony? I always forget. It's like
15 feet.
15 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like 15 feet up, you know, a couple meters, right? And I'm hanging off the top of the wall, stretching my back. So I'm like one hand, you know, like stretching and like doing all this kind of shit, switching my grip. And this dude walks underneath me and is like looking at something else that's next to where I am. And he starts climbing and I'm like, fuck is this guy doing? So I just like waited a little bit longer until he went around a corner. And then I got down and I turn around and one of our like, you know, gym regular friends looks at me and she's like, and I was like, yeah, dude, I don't know what the fuck that guy was doing. That was the dumbest shit ever. I have landed on one person at the gym. And when I did it, I just dropped my knee into his back because I was like, I'm not going to roll my ankle trying to not land on you. I was like, I'm going to land on you in a way that I'm safe. And then I was like, are you good? And he's like, yeah, yeah, I'm sorry. And I was like, it's okay. I just don't know what you were doing underneath me, trying to do push-ups or some shit. That was crazy. And he's like, yeah, that was stupid. I'm sorry. And I was like, well, I just want to make sure you're okay. Probably didn't feel great. And he was like, it's okay. It's okay. And I was like, all right, dude, just don't, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. That's just be aware. Teach them bad words. Parents love that. Dude, LFQ. I mean, you guys know I swear a lot. I do not edit myself in public at all, especially if they're kids and a parent is giving me a nasty look. If I've had parents be like, hey, can you watch your language? And I go, hey, can you not take your fucking kid into public? And they're like, what? And I'm like, you're in public. This isn't your house. I'm not cussing in your house. You are in public. And they're like, ugh. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. Get all grumpy. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't bother me. Okay. So, Gears of War E-Day. It looks like VGC was invited to do a multiplayer preview session, so that's what this is based on. So we'll get some more information here on the 3-squad, 12-player Horde mode. Tony, I think the only way this would work is if the level design supported it, and if there were enough enemies to occupy each squad with like a shared objective after a certain amount of waves, then it could be cool. All 3 squads share the same map. Each squad has its own separate objectives. Okay, so that's good. And if those objectives are designed in a way where each squad has to support each other, that could be good. But to your point, Tony, if like squad B of randos is ignoring their objective and it fucks everyone else's game up, that would make me very mad. Also, finding a full squad of 12 is kind of crazy. Like, how are you going to find 12 people?
That's the thing that it's twice a Destiny raid, which was already like kind of a hard group of people to get together, which I thought was interesting. Yeah,
absolutely. That sounds really fun. What sounds fun, Mocap? Climbing and like dropping your knee on people. Let's see. At times, however, large map-wide events like boss invasions will occur, and squads have to work together to take them on. Okay, so this sounds like exactly what I just said. As like maybe this is a good thing. The squads thing, yeah, totally. Our footage, which can be seen at the top of this article, blah blah blah. Don't care about that. Blitz variation of the Horde Siege mode, a shorter version with only a couple of objectives, taking place in the Golden Quarter map. PC version, ludicrous graphics preset. It looked good, is what they were saying. E-Day will gain early access to an open beta from August 6th to 10th. So next week is going to be open beta. So we can all check it out and see if it's good. Second open beta weekend will then follow later in the summer, in which everyone will be able to take part. According to Xbox, the open beta will have the same content as the preview build we played, which means it will have Horde Siege map. There will be 3 at launch, a Horde Siege cap at level 10 instead of 30, and 2 invasion bosses instead of 4. It will also include versus play with 2 versus modes and 2 maps. That's probably what I'm going to play in the beta if I check that out. Players' levels will be capped at 50 during the open beta, but in the full game, level cap is 100 with 4 re-ups. I'm guessing re-ups are like prestige. That seems kind of cool. I could be doing some prestige gears. Gears of War E-Day is available on October 6th, Xbox, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter though, because like you can get this shit on PC, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just not PlayStation because they backpedaled on that.
Yeah, that's smart, honestly. That was a crazy decision by Phil Spencer to be like, the competition can just get our software. Like, what are you doing, dude? That's you don't hand your resources to the enemy and when you're in conflict. That's crazy. Premium Edition gives 5 days early access starting from October 1st. I'm kind of fucking with this. I think I'm into it a little bit. This will be interesting. Division 2's raids were 8 players. Yeah, I did a couple raids in Division 2, Anna, and the biggest disappointment was the actual raids themselves. They had some pretty lame mechanics, and every single enemy was a bullet sponge, and that was annoying. I didn't like it. I did like the Division as a game. I thought it was a great game. I thought they approached it in a very interesting way. Oh shit, Tony, is that for real or is that AI? The Jason Momoa as Blanca and Street Fighter?
I don't know. I mean, it's from Discussing Film, so it's probably real.
Dude, I saw a trailer for it at Evo when I was watching Evo, and it looks fucking weird, man. I think it's gonna be bad. Like, I really think the Street Fighter movie is gonna be bad. You should play that clip. Oh, it's not a clip, right? It's just images.
Yeah. I guess it's just images. Yeah.
Oh my god, he looks so weird, guys. Jason Samoa, by the way. Mimosa.
Jason
Samoas.
Mimosa.
LFQ goes, oh, what the hell is that? That's Blanca. What do you mean, bro? I only had 3 friends in Division 2. I like to do solo things in it. I was kidding, Anna. I like saying his name wrong. I like calling him Jason Samoa, like the Girl Scout cookie. I realize that that's probably slightly problematic because isn't he like Pacific Islander or something like that? That's not what I'm trying to go for. Mimosa is better, or what's the other one? What's the fucking like little Indian
Samosa.
Like, samosa, yes. Fucking chickpea Jason Samosa, dude. What the fuck? The Street Fighter movie reminds me of the Street Fighter video I did with Mike Diva way back in the day. Mocap, you want to share that in the Discord? I'd love to check that out. But also no pressure. If you want to just chill and vibe, that's also cool. I like your stuff. I think it's neat. And I think it's awesome if you want to share it with us, because that's very cool. Let's see. Are we raining right now? Yeah, I got some rain going on. All right. Tony, you got rain? Rain might be on the way.
It's like sunny as fuck over here.
Ooh, I like what you're doing with this lighting, Tony. This is interesting. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Whatever is his name, I'm not one of his fans. You don't like him? That's crazy, Anna. I wouldn't have expected that. Is it because of Aquaman? Because if anything, that's why I don't like him as Aquaman. Aquaman was so fucking whack. I remember watching that movie. I went to see it in theaters with some friends. And when it ended, I was like, what the fuck was that? And one of my friends, who's a super big comic book nerd, got really mad. He's like, dude, that movie was fucking great. And I'm like, that was incoherent. It's like, this was just a waste of my time. And another friend starts laughing his fucking ass off. And he goes, I'm with Vince on this one. That shit sucked. And I was like, I was laughing really hard. Our buddy got really upset because he liked it a lot. He was a big DC Comics fan too.
I saw an interview with him the other day where he said after he did Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones, everybody assumed that he didn't know how to speak English.
Holy fuck.
Because it was like when he got famous, so people didn't really know who he was before that. And he's like, my entire role was like sit on horse and grunt and look ripped. And he's like, so I started getting all of these requests for roles and stuff, and they asked if I needed a translator and like all of this stuff. And...
Yo, Anime, what's up, brother? I miss you, bro. You can always come around. You know where we are. I'm kind of weird sometimes. It does like some actors for no reason. Is it just like his face and like his personality when he acts? Because I can understand that. I'm the same way. There's some actors that I'm just like, nah, dude, I ain't fucking with you. Kind of, yeah. To be fair, I don't think he has a lot of range. He's always the same kind of guy. He's like a Dwayne Johnson type of dude, which I guess is not fair to Dwayne Johnson because Dwayne Johnson actually has some pretty good fucking range.
I would almost say Mimosa is a better actor than fucking The Rock, but I don't know.
Dude, have you seen him in oh fuck, what's the MMA movie that he did? Smashing Machine. He was really good in that.
The
like
Rock?
Crazy good. Yeah. He plays one of the most famous early days UFC fighters who fought in like multiple leagues, and he was like a rising star, but he had a lot of problems with personal life stuff. And it's honestly like a pretty tragic story in like how his life fell apart. But you know, Dwayne Johnson fucking nailed that role. I mean, bro, what do you mean? Like, he's good in Jumanji.
Was he?
The Kevin Hart one?
We saw the Backrooms in theaters anime. Yeah.
I have not seen Obsession yet. I keep forgetting about it. But yeah, I want to check it out.
And I watched Backrooms again, I don't know, a week ago, something like that at my house. So
I wonder if I can even find it. Yo, no worries, Mocap. I'm not trying to give you homework, man. Like, I appreciate you being here. So it's totally cool.
Backrooms was awesome until I think you meant the reveal. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yes.
I've gone back and forth on it. Like, I came out of it liking it initially. I thought about it really hard, and then I kind of like landed where you are, which is like they should have probably not shown the monster so much, because I think that works better in horror movies, of course. But like, it doesn't bother me as much now. I don't know. And when I watched it again, like, I've read into all the theories and stuff enough times, and like noticed all the little details that like it's less bad to me now. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know.
Anime, the first thing I want to say I said to Tony was like, they shouldn't have shown the monster. Like,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that was what I said. And yeah, I was struggling to not laugh at it too. I was like, oh man. Anime, my favorite part was when he puts the fucking wig on the other person. I fucking loved that, dude. I was like, put the fucking wig on her. Oh my God, he did it. He put the wig on. This is crazy.
There's a scene at the end when she's being questioned, and you see the monster on the table, and they've like clearly been like dissecting it or something, but it shows that his pirate hat is actually like part of his head, and there's like a skull cap under where they've like removed it. I don't know, stuff like that. I think like kind of made me appreciate it a little more. But yeah,
I mean, Kane Parsons, he, in all of his stuff, he always showed the monster, and I think that's probably why he showed it. I don't know.
Like, you never got a super good look at the squiggle monster. It was always just like,
yeah,
kind of there. I don't know.
Spaghetti Man would just
They
come
couldn't
out,
have done
and then it would
squiggle
like
monster in like a Hollywood
drop
movie
the
though.
camera.
Like, they had to do something else. So I get it.
Yeah.
But
Anime, do you think that they were in the back rooms the entire time?
good question. I watched it again and I still do. So
Yeah. Obsession was great. Recommend. It's a bit overhyped, but it's good. Simple, thrilling horror. Yeah, I'm into it. I keep forgetting about it. I think Queen Anne came through and was talking about Obsession. I'm trying to remember because this is like, it came out a while ago. I will definitely watch it when it's on like a streaming thing. Let's see. Did you see the Odyssey anime? I saw that last week. I thought it was fine. It was just too long of a movie. Cinematography was great. Practical effects were fantastic. 70 millimeter this Sunday. Nice. I got to warn you, first hour is poorly paced. But yeah, everything you might have read on the internet, both for and against it, is completely wrong. Like, there's very little truth to people's reactions to the Odyssey. It's a fine movie. Honestly, it was. I think it ended really well. About midway through is when it starts to like be a little more coherent and totally be okay. Again, like I was saying, visual effects, cinematography, outstanding, very good. That's cool that you're gonna go see it in 70 millimeter. You're gonna get an actual like Nolan and poor pacing. Not shocked. I love him though, so I'm sure I'll really enjoy it. Yeah, it's I think the interesting thing here is it's not my favorite Nolan movie, like by a long shot, but it's not a bad Nolan movie, right? I think if anything, you could say it is kind of a bad Nolan movie, but it's still not a bad movie. Omni, you don't want to sit through a 3-hour movie? Over time, I think Tenet is my favorite Nolan movie. So it's funny. I went to go see it with a friend of mine who's not seen Tenet, and I had to explain to him. I was like, I just want you to know that Tenet is like a very divisive film, and some people love it or hate it. Yo, thank you for the raid, Manish. Manisha? Sorry. Thank you for the raid.
thank you.
Where did you come from? Manisha, that's awesome. Welcome. Here, let me drop you a follow here real quick. We'll follow you back, Manisha. Follow. There we go. I mean, I'm assuming you were already following us, maybe? I don't recognize your name. What do you do? What are you working on? Tell us about yourself. We're chilling. I'm talking about movies, and Tony's working on our game Dread. So we're co-founders of Fractal Grove. We stream 4 hours a week total. We only stream Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday is a morning show. We do 10 a.m. to noon Mountain Time. And on Thursdays, we do 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So we're actually about like 15 minutes and we're going to wrap up here. But, it's a part of how we self-fund. We're a self-funded studio. And yeah, the social media, the streaming and stuff like that is how we sustain our operations. So it's very cool. We're a really small team. I've got a 15-year history as a game designer, working on everything from mobile to AAA. If you see this thing back here, this is from Destiny. I worked on that for 5 years. And yeah, this is from a mission I made in Destiny called The Whisper. Our community is full of people who are making games of varying skill levels, from brand new to like industry AAA veterans. Let me drop you some links. We love helping people out with their own projects and, sharing information. And thank you for the follow, Manisha. So the best way to keep in touch with us, if you're like working on something in Unreal and you're like, I don't know what the hell's going on with this, I can't figure it out, drop a message in the Discord. We have a game dev channel in there, and we welcome people to share their own work too. Just don't spam it. Just drop a single link and say, hey, please check my thing out. That's kind of our vibes. Make that bread, make that dread. Yo, I like that, mocap.
That's a good one.
Secretly Unity gang. No, that's okay. I've shipped a couple games in Unity and I don't like it. I definitely prefer, Unreal over Unity. But that's just me. If Unity is your favorite tool, that's all that matters. There's no better or worse type of a thing. If someone's brand new, I generally recommend Unreal because it just does more out of the box. And then, working in AAA, like working at Bungie, it was proprietary tools all the way up and down the pipeline. So none of that shit mattered. You had to, when you got in the studio, you had to learn all of their tools in order to make anything. So Dread is shaping up nicely. Looks solid, boys. Thank you, Anime. Yes, Tony has very much been cooking. Tony's made some very cool shit. So Neighborhood is coming together really, really well. Forest needs some love next, but we're totally, so Dread, sorry, let me back up. For those of you Raiders who are new here, Dread is a psychological horror walking sim, liminal space horror type stuff. So a little bit of backrooms with creative twist on it. So the creative twist is that you're not in office buildings and traditional backrooms type things. When I say it's a walking simulator, there's a bit of a puzzle to it. And the puzzle is like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Lost Woods. So when you get to this intersection here, you've got the gifters. Thank you, Anime.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you, my guy. But yeah, so when you get to an intersection, you're presented with a choice. You can go left, right, or straight. And two of those paths will take you back to the beginning seamlessly, teleporting you back to the beginning. So the player just won't even know. They'll just be on the same street and be like, wait, what the fuck? And they'll have to like look around and be like, I recognize this. I've been here before. If you go the right way, the neighborhood starts to take on this very strange and surreal nature. And then, of course, you get through the neighborhood, you go to the forest, you go to the lake level, then you get to the Black Sun level, and then you get to a capstone experience, the Cathedral to the Voronoi. So, yeah, it's when I'm talking about the Cathedral to the Voronoi, it's, I guess, loosely inspired by the King in Yellow. So that's pieces of it, too. So some of these aesthetic themes that we have are based on Casilda's song from King in Yellow. And, yeah. That's kind of the deal. We have a bunch of different projects. We started this in October of last year as a game jam. We meant to only spend about a month on it and then ship it quickly. But we started making some really cool stuff that needed further development. And, we increased scope. It was originally going to be like a 20-minute game. It's probably going to be closer to 2 hours or more now. But yeah, that's the whole deal with it. Anna says, even when Vince disagrees with me, I still like him. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. I'm out, boys. Got to get some work done. Yeah, take it easy, brother. So real, Anna. I think everyone in chat is the same way. Even when I disagree with Vince, I still like him. Octaris says, I'm trying to figure out Unreal. I mostly use Raylib, Love, and Godot, sorry.
It's a lot of different things.
Yeah, that is a lot of things, Octaris. If you want to get some help on Unreal, like the Discord is a great place for it. So I'm going to drop some links again for you guys. But there's a lot of people in our Discord that do Unreal things. So that's a great place for resources. I'm a game designer. So if you want to talk about your game and get, work through some stuff or talk about ways you can approach making your game more interesting or fun. I've done that for a lot of people in our community. It's free, like if you guys want to sub or donate or anything like that, that's awesome and it's welcomed. It supports the studio, but by no means does anyone need to sub. It's not a requirement. So we love it, and you guys help us out a lot, and it's super fucking awesome. So yeah, thank you guys. We're based in Colorado. Like I said, I've been making games for a while now. It's my primary career path. I think I've been doing it longer than anything else that I've done in my life. Tony is a very experienced and seasoned software developer. He's, launched multiple companies, had them acquired and stuff like that. So Tony's new to games, but we've known each other for a long time now. And we started Fractal Grove and went full time in like 2023, something like that. I think we're in our third year of streaming now. I guess the long story short about, oh my God, Anna, thank you. 13 fucking
lucky
gifted.
Number 13. Let's fucking go.
Let's go, Anna. Thank you.
It's my lucky number. I have it tattooed on my body.
He does. I've seen it. You guys can't see it. It's secret. But so that completely derailed me. I don't even know what the fuck I was saying at this point. I was talking about Tony, and Tony's awesome. So Tony is a very successful software engineer, newer to games. He's super awesome, very good at that part of the business. So yeah, that's our thing. I help people with game design stuff. That's my forte. Admittedly, I'm not super great at working in the tools. I've done all kinds of shit over my career in different tool sets and everything like that. So I do creative direction and vision things and, try to steer the business in good directions. The reason we did the streaming thing is probably for about the first year, less than a year, but for the first year, we were chasing, partnership and talking to publishers and like other, platform partners and stuff like that. And this is in 2023 before all of the big layoffs started happening. And it's even more bleak now. So this has been really good for us because we don't have a contractual partnership with someone who's going to dictate what we make, how we make it, and when it comes out. So we're doing our own thing. And because of you awesome people like Anna and Anime and LFQ and Artificial Sky, there are plenty of other people who sub and, give us donations and stuff. That covers our operations costs for like web server hosting, cloud storage, all kinds of stuff like that. So we've got our own Perforce set up. We've got all kinds of other things set up. We're doing it, like the big boys. So if you are trying to figure out how to be a big boy yourself or a big girl, hit us up. We're always happy to help. And Discord's definitely the best venue for that.
Fuck, dude, I don't know which way to go.
Get lost. Do you know which segment you were in?
I'm pretty sure it's this way. Okay.
So yeah, Tony's getting lost in the thing that we made. So, yep. You're looking forward to it, Manisha? Sorry, I was yapping a bunch, but I want to give you a moment to tell us about your stuff. But also if you just want to chill, and I know you just rated us, so you probably just ended your stream. Oh, I see. Game dev things. I'm working on a Greek myth puzzle game. Awesome. Are you solo dev? Do you have experience? Yeah, like what's your deal there, Manisha?
And yeah, also, it's been happening lately. We've like got it so dialed now that I can't even really recognize the tells anymore.
It's good. It's really good. Yeah,
there's a couple times where I'm sure I'm going the right way, and I'm like, "Fuck! I just looped around. I didn't even recognize."
That's happened to me too, and I'm the one doing the pacing for it. And
like we made the route. I'm not looking at it in front of me right now, but like we've done it 1,000 times. So.
Yeah, so other things like Atmosphere, like that's very audio dependent. We're working with some really cool people that are helping us with audio. Yeah, it's awesome. I worked as a game dev in finance for a while, but working with a team to make this game now, it's been lots of fun. Got our demo out on Steam a few months ago. What's your demo? Tell us about it. We'll take a look, Yeah, and if you join Discord or anything like that, there's definitely a venue for you to post that. Showcase your work is a great spot to talk about your own things. Yo, Mocap, you actually posted the link. Thank you, bro. I know you were like down on your own work, but I definitely want to check that out, man. I bet it's going to be a fun time. Street Fighter SFXTK, Vega versus June. Let's go. When you say in finance, like were you on like the money side of game dev? Like at like a bigger studio or something? Because that's really cool. And were you like affected by the state of the industry over the last like 2-3 years? because I'm assuming that like my LinkedIn is a fucking hellscape. Everyone has open to work and is posting the same copy pasta of today I was unfortunately affected by the layoffs at Microsoft, Bethesda, fucking Bungie, all this other shit. It's bad. It's bad out there. Oh, no worries. Yeah, not my favorite video I worked on, but Street Fighter movie trailers reminded me of his work. Hell yeah, dude. Who's Mike Diva? Are you Mike Diva, or is this no? This is like your collab with Mike Diva, right? I recognize the name, but I don't know why. Maybe it's because you said it. I wasn't in game dev at all. Investments and pensions company. Oh, okay. No, I mean, dude, if you got like enough of a bag to go chase your dreams, like hell yeah. What's your role on your current project? Thank you so much for sharing that link, Manisha. Yeah, what's your role in your current project? Let's see. What hype train emote did we get? What the fuck is this? Late save? We got some weird soccer emote. All right. Mike Diva's an artist who did a lot of YouTube, and now I think he works for SNL. No shit. Okay, that's awesome, mocap. Correct, SNL at the moment. LFQ knows. I'm the only one who doesn't know who Mike Diva is. Sorry, guys. I live in a hole. I don't leave it. I mean, Tony can attest to that. He's like, yeah, Vince doesn't go anywhere. Programmer, game designer, pretty much most of the creative direction. That's awesome, Manisha. And you do Unity game dev. Okay, cool. Sophia's Path demo. Okay, sweet. How did you find us? What made you choose Fractal Grove to say hello to and drop a raid on? It helps us like kind of know where, what our audience is and like where we hit and stuff.
And we gotta find somewhere to send all you lovely people here very shortly.
Mike Diva rhymed with Ad Rock and MCA. I like that, Illuminous. That's great. Also,
grats Mike D, but for sure.
Also, grats on your gifted sub there, brother. Yeah, we need to find a raid target because we're actually coming up on our time. Unfortunately, we really appreciate the raid. Just looking through raids, same category, and realized I never raided y'all. Thank you. That's awesome. Glad to be here. Yeah, of course, dude. We're glad to have you. Do we have like a crazy Boom that's live? Boom hasn't been streaming for a minute.
No.
Or just streaming at hours that we're unaware of. What about Stevie?
No,
Stevie's out too.
We can go.
Is Warka around?
No.
Nope. Fuck, dude.
Digital Iliad is the top of Fractal Grove viewers also watch.
Okay. I mean, we got a couple minutes, so we're not going to go.
A dude in a code editor, I guess. Making a roguelike deck builder in Godot.
Illumina says, thanks, anime brogurines. Nice. I like that.
Brogurines. Nice.
Got to run now. No worries. Thank you, Manisha. And thank you guys for hanging out.
Thank you so much for the raid. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I haven't seen Boom live for a bit either. I hope Boom is okay. We miss Boom.
I think Boom was just here the other day.
Yeah, Boom came through. We threw a lot of Beppis emotes at Boom. The kitty cat was going crazy.
Let's do high to low.
Yeah, who do we have here?
I'm just seeing if there's anybody making an interesting looking thing we could raid, maybe.
Mocap says at the music festival I was at, I spent a lot of time in the Fractal Forest. Are they a long lost cousin or something? I think they're trying to bite our style, bro.
What festival did you go to?
I'm kidding.
And who was the favorite musical artist that you saw?
Good question. Shambhala.
Shambhala? Fuck yeah, dude.
You're speaking Tony's language right now, Mocap.
Yeah, that's sick as fuck. Yeah, who'd you see? Who was good?
Let's see. I'm going to surf this list.
Oh, man, I bet you saw some crazy stuff. I've always wanted to go to Shambhala.
Who did you see? Oh, man, I saw some crazy stuff.
DJ Craze? Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I want to look at the lineup. Let's see.
Oh, you saw A-Track? Hell yeah.
A-Track, and some fucking oldies. That's good. Dimension's awesome. Nice.
Ivy?
Boris Brejcha, Chromio, Clooney, Closey, The Dare.
Orbital. That's crazy.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, sorry guys, we're talking about like music
Okay,
festival type shit
Liquid
right now.
Stranger, nice. That would have been sick.
Oh, Luminous would have wanted to see Liquid Stranger.
Weathin, like, there's some good ones. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Tony, who did you say it was that was adjacent to us? Iliad?
What was it? Digital Iliad.
Digital Iliad. Okay.
Is Fractal Grove but now Shifty Game Dev is at the top of the list now of Fractal Grove viewers also watch.
Flawed Tactics.
That's it's an ad, but it looks like he's making a game, so we could do that.
Wait, who did you say was Iliad? That name just fucking left my brain.
Digital Iliad.
Digital Iliad. Software game dev. Let's go over there just to keep, because that's what the people in the raid are here for. Yep. So all right, we don't know this person, but show some love. Hopefully this stream doesn't suck. And you guys
are the top of the Fractal Grove viewers also watch, so right up your guys' alley.
Yeah, if you guys know them, say hello, say what's up. Let's see. You walked 70 miles during the festival?
Sounds about right.
That's fucking crazy. All right, I'm gonna click the button. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for everything. Anna, you're amazing.
Yeah, Anna, Anime, you guys are fucking awesome. LFQ as always, bro. Like you don't need to gift us any right now. You're fine. Don't feel like you got mocked. You're still the king.
I think you're secure in your position, regardless.
Hey, you are still the king, brother. LFQ, I'm gonna check out your PoE video that you sent us.
Yeah, dude. All right.
Yeah, no worries.
You guys have a good weekend.
Take it easy, guys. Have a good one. Show some love. We're out of here. Everyone be safe, but not too safe. Have a good weekend, and we'll catch you later. Thank you for the raid, everyone, and thanks for hanging out, Raiders.
Peace.